Hi friends, welcome to Candace's Canvases. I am Candace Gillespie and we are here for another Scrappy Wednesday. So grab your scraps and let's get crafty. So what I have here are some scraps of some saffron. That's what I'm putting the glue on right now. Gumball green, Cajun craze, eggplant, or elegant eggplant rather, early espresso, and early espresso cardstock, and we're gluing those diagonally onto the saffron piece of cardstock in no particular order at all. I am just making a paper. Right now I'm just making a patterned background. So take your time, glue those on in any order you prefer. Now if you have scraps of squares, you can make a fun mosaic look by cutting, just anything you wanted to. Here's just the basic idea, is to glue your scraps down, and then my favorite adhesive, of course, is the Tombow Mono multi-purpose glue. So adhere that down with some glue and use your bone folder to really burnish that down, get that glue into the fibers of your paper. And your handy dandy paper snips will snip off your papers along the edge of your base scrap, if you will. So make sure you save those longer ones for another scrappy project. So here we're taking our banner framelits, which are awesome, and I'm just going to lay it down and decide which pattern I want to be in this framelit. Basically, I chose this side because I knew it would fit on my scrap, so there's no rhyme or reason except that I knew it would fit. Now, don't worry about that little piece that my masking tape ripped off of my cardstock, because we're going to cover it up. So I brought in some craft cardstock, and I am going to make a little tag, and I'm going to do that by cutting off the corner, using that corner on the other side. But first you got to make sure it's in the same direction as the other side that you cut off, and then use it as a template to cut your other corner off. And there you go, you have your tag shape, and we are going to grab our hardwood embossing folder. Here it is. Oh, no, hardwood background stamp, pardon. And we're going to ink that up with some early espresso classic Stampin' ink. There it is. And then we're going to set our tag piece on top of our stamp. And that's going to give us a fun wood grain background. Now that that's done, we are going to bust out the wood grain dry embossing folder. And we're going to put this newly made background banner piece into it and just kind of decide which part of the wood grain you want on there. Once that is run through the Big Shot, you're going to decide where you want to put it on your tag. So I decided I wanted to use more of my scrap pieces here for some other background layers. So I'm going to cut the little fishtail banner edges back there and decide where I want it and trim it to size. And glue it down. And we're going to bring in another scrap. I'm pulling in some Cajun craze and deciding where I want that, and then cutting a matching banner edge there. Of course, you got to apply some adhesive and then stick it down. Okay, once that's all glued down into place, I took my newly made banner piece here and flipped it over and put some adhesive. It's probably better to use some wet adhesive when you have lots of uneven texture like this. So put some of that on there, glue it down. And then we're going to bring in some scraps from the scrap bin, and I don't even remember the names of these papers, so bear with me. We do have our blossom punch here, which I love, love, love this punch. We're going to punch out some pieces. We're going to take our pansy punch, do the same thing, and I'm going to bring in some very vanilla cardstock, just kind of keeping it with that aged theme here. And I'm going to take some stamps using my Cajun Craze, oh, tongue twister, Cajun Craze ink, and from my mixed blossoms, or mixed bunch stamp set, I am going to stamp from, oh brother, I am tongue twisted, huh? I am going to use Cajun Craze and stamp some goodies onto this paper. So here we're bringing in a flower shop flower. And I'm going to bring in some elegant eggplant to kind of match up with that elegant eggplant cardstock. And we're going to stamp that flower shop flower in elegant eggplant. And we're going to bring back the Cajun Craze ink and some petite petals stamps, which have become my big time faves. Oh, definitely remember to put away your ink, or to at least close it. You don't want that stuff drying out. It is a special step. There we go. We're stamping 3 of those. And taking our punches, our coordinating punches, and punching those out. So here we bring in the Blossoms punch again. And the Pansy punch, which was one of my very first investments, by the way, was that bundle, the Flower Shop bundle. And we're bringing our Petite Petals punch, and punch, punch, punch. So cute. I love, love, love this punch too. Okay, now it's time for some stacking, and I am just bringing in I have some big rectangular sticky foam that anyway, I am using those up on here. So in between those layers, where I don't really need a ton of support, just some dimensions. So now where I really want it to stick, I'm bringing in my dimensionals. And these are kind of the top pieces. Bringing it in there. I love these ones. For some reason, that hexagonal shape really just makes things work out. Now I am flipping up all the edges of my flowers just to give it some dimension, which paper crafters, I know you love dimension, because I do. And I see it everywhere. So flip up those flower petal edges, decide where you want to put it, and I made sure to put a good amount of adhesive dimensionals on here to make sure it's stuck, because I'm sticking it to that wood grain embossed surface. Then I'm taking little pieces of, oh no, they're full pieces of my Stampin' dimensionals, and adhering my smaller Cajun Craze flowers, fluffing it up. You can never have too much fluff. Repositioning those a little bit. And then we are going to bring in my crocodile, which Stampin' Up, oh look it, still repositioning. You just got to get it just right. Don't worry, we'll add more flowers to it a little bit later. But in the meantime, bringing in the crocodile. And what I was going to say is Stampin' Up used to sell the crocodile, but we don't anymore, which is a bummer, but they have a ton of other great things, and we have some new punches, hole punches available. So it's, win-win, I guess. Bringing in our beautiful rhinestone basic jewels and putting those in the center of all of our flowers. And this will not be the last time you see these rhinestones on this tutorial. We'll bring them back in a little bit later. So I'm using my handy dandy paper piercing tool to apply those rhinestones down. And then next I am bringing some I have no idea the name brand of these ribbons. I have 3 bins full of ribbon that I am just trying to use up, and it's difficult to do when you use little pieces at a time, but you know, here's another chance where I get to use some up. So we are going to use a wider piece and a thinner piece, and it's kind of similar to that early espresso and that craft cardstock, so it just is perfect. We're going to trim those up using our fabulous craft scissors. These scissors are heavy duty and they will not fray your ribbon, and they cut right through it from tip to the connector point of the scissors. They're just fabulous. And we're bringing in my favorite, the linen thread, and we're going to tie a bow around that ribbon. Now, while I'm tying this bow, I just want to invite you to take a look at CandaceCanvases.com. I have decided I do really want to build my team. So I'm looking for people who are not necessarily creative, but people who have a knack for crafts. Because I would just love to have you on my team, and I would love to learn from you. I would love to teach you, and I would love to just craft with you. So there's a link on my webpage called Join the Fun. It's a button up at the top right corner. Check that out. Check out the incentives, the bonuses. You can run your own business, or you can just do it for fun. But let's talk about that. Contact me and we'll talk more. So we are bringing in our Something to Say stamp set, and we're going to use that again in a little bit. But there it is. It is really becoming one of my go-to stamp sets. So check that out. That's brand new from our 2014-2015 annual catalog. Here is our early espresso Stampin' ink. That's kind of our themed ink that we're going to. And I am putting it in that corner. It doesn't stand out a ton, but it stands out enough to really make a big impact. And I really liked how that turned out. Wasn't quite sure if I wanted to, but the more I look at it, the more I love it. So it turned out good. It's just a little secret message. And it says, "One Great Life." Next, we're bringing in our Itty Bitty Accents punch pack. And this replaced our other, what were they called? Now I can't think of the name of our other small punch packs. And we're bringing in from that same stamp set the flower that coordinates with this one punch. And this punch set comes with 3 little punches: a heart, a star, and this flower. So punch out that flower. Now there's a little trick, the same as the pansy punch. If you have that set, it coordinates, or you have to line it up just right. Now there's a trick. I matched it up the very first time, and you'll see me bring in my Sharpie marker, and I am going to mark along the edge of that foam where the bottom of the punch is. And that way, forever, as long as I use this punch and this flower that coordinates, I will never have a problem matching it up. And I did the same thing with my pansy punches too. So there I go. Easily fit in my punch. I know it's going to fit well, and punch out those flowers. That, by the way, is stamped with Cajun Craze ink, as well as stamped on some Cajun Craze cardstock. Whew, tongue twister. Bringing in our handy dandy paper piercing tool again, and cutting up those dimensionals to fit to size here. Definitely use up all of those pieces of your dimensionals. They're priceless. So deciding where I want those, I want to spread out the cluster of the middle. So I'm bringing those to the top. And our last one, just joining it in there, giving it a fluff, and then in come those rhinestone basic jewels again. Now, there is a huge difference between Stampin' Up! Rhinestones and other rhinestones. Like, I used to get the big packs from Michael's, and the Stampin' Up! Rhinestones, I have noticed, are so mirror-like shiny. They're so beautiful. Versus other ones that I've noticed can be kind of dull. So just letting you know that there is quality there. Now we're coming to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Scrappy Wednesday tutorial. Remember to like this video, subscribe for more, and check out CandaceCanvases.com, where you can shop at my Stampin' Up! Online store, and you can join my team. Hope to see you there, and we'll see you again. Bye!